Imagine discovering that the person you trusted most had been betraying you, and instead of exploding with anger, crying till your vision blurred, or storming out, you simply smiled. Why? Because you had already crafted a plan, a quiet, perfect form of revenge that would shatter her world without you raising your voice, and she wouldn't even see it coming until it was far too late. My name is Daniel, and until last year, I believed my marriage was solid. My wife, Emily, and I had shared 7 years together. To the outside world, we had everything. A beautiful home, a network of friends, a life that looked flawless. But appearances can be deceiving, and sometimes what seems perfect is nothing more than a polished illusion. One evening, I was in my home office, finishing up some work. Emily was supposedly out for a late dinner with colleagues. I was tired, half focused on the screen in front of me, when a notification chimed from the kitchen. At first, I assumed it was nothing. Normally, I would have ignored it. But it wasn't my phone, it was hers. I walked over casually, no suspicion, until I saw the name flash on the screen. Mark. I knew Mark. He was a colleague of hers, a married man. I'd even had him over a few times, shared drinks, and played poker with him. Initially, I tried to convince myself it was work-related. Then I saw the message preview. 5 words, and my world shifted. My chest tightened, my hands trembled. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. And there it was, months of messages, secret plans, flirty photos, hotel bookings. It wasn't just a fling. It was a full-blown affair happening right under my nose. I stood in the kitchen, the fridge humming softly behind me, and felt a strange calm settle over me. Instead of letting anger consume me, a new thought took hold. I wasn't going to confront her in the heat of the moment. No yelling, no tears, no desperate pleas. I was going to end this, and I was going to do it in a way she would never forget. I knew I needed an ally, and I knew exactly who it should be. Mark's wife, Claire. I'd met her a few times at social events. She had a gentle, quiet demeanor, the kind of person who didn't deserve to be dragged into a mess like this. The next day, I found her number and sent a simple message. Claire, we need to talk. It's about Emily and Mark. We met at a small cafe. I remember Claire sitting across from me, hands wrapped around a warm cup of coffee she barely touched. I slid my phone across the table so she could see the messages. Her lips trembled. She shook her head in disbelief, whispering, "What do we do now?" That's when the plan came together. I explained I didn't want a public scene, no shouting matches, no embarrassment. I wanted a quiet, smart approach, one that would make them feel the consequences of their actions without us having to lift a finger in anger. There was a charity gala coming up, the highlight of Emily's social calendar. She'd been anticipating it for weeks, excited about the networking opportunities. All her colleagues would be there, Mark included. I told Claire we would attend together, and she looked radiant and excited, completely unaware of the plan. But I wouldn't be going with Emily. I would be going with Claire. The night arrived. I wore my finest suit. Claire looked stunning in a sleek black dress. We walked in together, and heads turned immediately. Across the room, Emily noticed us. Her smile faltered. Mark's jaw clenched. Neither knew how to react. We didn't rush to confront them. We mingled, laughed, posed for photos, and carried ourselves with complete ease. All night, Emily's eyes followed us, growing more anxious by the minute. Halfway through the evening, I asked the host for the microphone. I spoke to the room, thanking everyone for supporting the charity, then turned my attention to Emily and Mark. I want to extend a special acknowledgement to 2 people who have been inseparable this year. I said, my wife Emily and her colleague, Mark. The room fell silent. Emily's face drained of color. Mark froze mid-drink. I connected my phone to the big screen, displaying their own messages, photos, and secret correspondence for everyone to see. Friends, colleagues, and even their superiors. Gasps echoed through the hall. Emily's hands flew to her mouth. Mark looked like he wanted to disappear into the floor, and Claire remained composed, calm, and unshaken. Emily bolted, tears streaking down her face. Mark tried to follow, but Claire stepped close and whispered something into his ear. I watched his expression change, shock, fear, panic. Claire had been collecting her own evidence for months. Bank statements, emails, everything necessary for a devastating divorce. Mark's company even had a morality clause. His affair meant immediate termination. Within a week, he was unemployed. Emily tried calling, texting, explaining herself. I didn't respond. While she stayed at her sister's house that night, I moved her belongings into storage, changed the locks, and blocked her number. The last image of her I have is her standing outside our house, knocking on a door that would never open to her again. Claire and I didn't become lovers. That wasn't the point. But we became friends, allies, sharing occasional coffee and updates about how much better life had become without them. Every time I saw her smile, I knew we had both won. Sometimes the most devastating revenge doesn't involve shouting or physical confrontation. It's silence. It's patience. It's carefully dismantling someone's world, step by step, until they are left standing amid the ruins they built for themselves. The calm you maintain can be far more powerful than the chaos they try to create.